this is Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate everyone. All praises to Kali Ma. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video. So, everybody talks about the law of attraction for years now. But what is the law of attraction missing? Because it's not working for a lot of people. Well, what it's missing is from the teachings of Sanatana Dharma, which is Hinduism. Now, let me teach you something that will improve the way you attract circumstances, events, people, objects, and much more into your life. They tell you in the law of attraction that you attract what you are. And they explain this in the sense of frequency. To have a higher vibration means that you will attract higher vibrational things. This is true, but how do you know what frequency you are truly on? Some may answer and say, well, when you're positive, you are on a higher frequency. And when you're negative, you're on a lower frequency. I agree, but it's much more deeper than that. The terms positive and the terms negative can be subjective depending upon the individual. Frequency is how you live your life on a daily basis, what you consume, who you are around. And we are not really given the tools and able to discern these things. Many of these things are pushed onto us by industries which profit from our lower vibrations, and we have become so accustomed to them that we actually think they're beneficial when they are actually hindering us. Ayurveda has the answer, which is a part of Sanatana Dharma, where all these ancient teachings really come from. This is where the law of attraction actually comes from. Let's break it down. This is called the gunas. This will help you know how high or how low your vibration really is. Now, the three gunas are named tamas, rajas, and sattva. Tamas is often translated into darkness or foulness, and the effect of tamasic predominance being taken as the guna itself is resistance, stability, what is called in science as inertia of matter. All matter is fundamentally and always resistant as it resists. Rajas is motion, the capacity of every particle to change its place and the necessity of so changing it unless prevented. In scientific phrase, this is motion inherent in matter. Sattva is rhythm. It's the limiting of motion. It's the limiting of movement to an equal distance in an equal time on each side of a fixed point, the power and necessity of what is. In scientific phrase, it's vibration. So hence every particle in matter has resistance, motion, and rhythm. So once we understand these, then we can actually understand how manifesting works on a scientific level, which is never taught in the law of attraction. They teach you to treat God or the universe, whatever you want to identify it as a genie that you just ask and receive, which is not the case at all. Never treat God as a genie. It's not a genie. That is very delusional thinking. So how does this apply to our lives? Now, something that is sattva is balance, it's harmony, it's positive, it's peace, it's clarity, it's light, it's creativity, it's openness, it's intelligence. So think of somebody meditating, that's very sattva. Rajas is movement, it's activity, it's energy, it's excitement, it's passion, it's desire, it's aggravation, it's anxiety, it's egotism. That's the middle point. Then we have tamas, which is inertia, inactivity, negativity, apathy, dullness, dark, delusion, depression, ignorance. So these are the three states of consciousness that you could be in. Now, because of how our society is designed, and we weren't taught this, especially in the West, many people are actually living in a tamasic state or a rajasic state. And they think that they are being positive, so they don't understand why they're not attracting what they want. Because a lot of people don't really understand the concept that having desire and passion and even excitement isn't the highest level of frequency. We're kind of taught that that is. Positive is the highest level of frequency, but most people are not at that positive level. They're still stuck in desire and egotism. Many people have anxiety, and a lot of that is due to the food that you're consuming and the people that you're around, the media that you're consuming. All of these things come into effect. So you would have to get out of that rajasic state in order to manifest. So think about all of our media, all of our music, all of these things are rajasic or tamasic. I could open up Twitter right now or X right now, and you're going to see a whole bunch of dead people, babies, and all of this constantly. So if we're consuming this constantly, guess what's happening? We are on that lower frequency because of that. People say, I'm being positive. Yes, but you're watching and you're playing video games that are all about murder. That's tamasic. That is the lowest level. And when you're consuming that, you're going to become depressed. You're going to become ignorant and you're going to lack activity. This is why you're consuming these things. You're watching Netflix and then now you're hungry. So you're going to go for something like pizza, something from Uber Eats. But guess what? Because you watched that, you're in this tamasic state. Now you're ordering food that's tamasic and you didn't even realize it. This is how it keeps going. What are tamasic foods? Well, meat, fish, poultry, eggs, pastry, bread, fermented foods, sugary foods, alcohol, anything that's unhealthy or has a dulling effect, anything that is dead is tamasic. Now, you can have certain things in moderation, but if you are nonstop watching that movie that is about wars and now you're ordering Uber Eats, you got to remember these foods that are coming to your door aren't alive anymore. We're supposed to cook the food and then eat it within a certain time frame. Leftovers and all of that is tamasic. So this is another way that you're lowering your frequency, but you have no idea you're doing it. Most people do this, so I'm not here to, bash anybody or anything like that, but I am here to show you that I am an example that I don't indulge in any tamasic. I don't eat sugar, no caffeine. I cook all my own meals, all sattvic foods. So it is very possible. I'm not telling you something that I don't do. Rajasic foods are onion, garlic, spice, salty foods, sugar, chocolate, caffeine drinks, soft drinks. And this will cause imbalances within your mind. Remember, all of these things, all of these are levels of consciousness. So the more that you consume these things, your body ends up being at that level of conscious, and you can't access the same things that someone with a sattvic diet can access. These open up and close parts of your brain and what you have access to. So this is never taught in school, and it's very important to understand this. You will dull your entire self. And this is also why you're not attracting. So people say, I'm being positive. Okay, but you're drinking soft drinks all day and caffeinated things, and this is actually stopping you from your ability to attract and manifest what you want. Sattvic foods are everything fresh. Vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, oils, non-meat products. Some dairy is considered sattvic. So I would say like dairy from certain cows. In India, the cows are like gods. So that's why. But our cows are different over here. So I would argue that in the West, it's not the same. There's a lot of chemicals and the animals are not treated properly. In India, they're treated like gods. And so what comes from them is very sattvic, but not over here. So anything that's fresh and unprocessed, the more you eat that, the more you're going to be able to manifest the highest levels of things that you want to accomplish, and it'll become very easy for you. Now, the music, hip-hop music, and I used to be a rapper, so I understand how it is hard to give up certain music. I understand, but this is also programming. When you're listening to music and it's getting more and more violent, it is hindering you so much because a lot of this is tamasic. Hip hop, which has become more about talking about killing, swearing actually is tamasic as well. All of these things are lowering your frequency so you can't manifest. And it's getting you more in a depressed state. Anything that's violent, so that can be in the media as well, that can be in the news as well. And they know this. These are occultists that are putting this out. They know that it's going to lower the consciousness. And when it lowers the consciousness of the people, what do? They start consuming more. They start buying more because they're trying to feel better. And so it's a never-ending cycle. So guess who profits? These companies profit. Uber profits. Netflix profits. But you destroy yourself. Other ones that are rajastic, trance music, metal music, hard rock, a lot of pop, all these things are rajastic as well. I stopped listening to music in 2020 when I realized what was going on, and there's frequencies within the music that are programming people as well. And I can definitely tell you that from my experience in the music industry, and I've made lots of videos about that. From not listening to it, you completely change. The most powerful mantra is done mentally in the head, not out loud. It's thousands of times more powerful done in the head. So that's why these lyrics are done so that they're so catchy that you keep repeating it in your head and you just slowly destroy yourself. These things are what are bringing you down. That's why when you eat or you consume all of these things, tamasic, you can see it on the people. Just look around at people and look at how healthy they look and then figure out what kind of music they listen to. And there'll be a direct correlation. You'll see that. You see a lot of people who listen to a lot of hip hop, their body is deteriorating, but they don't realize it because you get so accustomed to, just like the saying about the frog in hot water who slowly boils itself to death because the water is just slowly getting hotter and hotter and doesn't realize it. And that's exactly what's happening. What about the people you're around? Are the people tamasic? Are they always chilled out? Are they always just smoking weed and don't want to move? That's another thing with weed. Weed gives you the sense that you are on a higher level, but that is the illusion of the weed. And many people don't want to hear this as well. It increases desire, so there's somewhat tamasic, and desire is what creates suffering. And many people have heard that before. It's not the lack of what you want that creates the suffering. It's the desire for what you want that creates the suffering. Once you get it, you suddenly feel good for a couple days until you have another desire, and then you start feeling bad. When you feel whole and you desire nothing, everything comes to you. So that's another secret of manifesting. When you are more rajastic, you are thinking, I gotta grind all day, I gotta hustle all day, always on the go. When you're chasing money, money is running from you. So yes, you will get it, but you'll never get wealth. Wealth comes to you. Now, are you hanging out with people like that? If you're hanging out with people, nonstop grind, team no sleep, and all of these things, this is going to affect you, whether you realize it or not. If people are constantly driven by anxiety, are they aggravated? Are they always pissed off? That is going to affect you as well, and that's going to affect your ability to manifest. So there's many things that we have to put into account. The people that you spend your time with, it's the same as consumption. You're consuming them, whether you realize it or not, and it's affecting your body. When people are rajastic, they're never satisfied. You know, the hustle mentality, it's never enough. More money and constantly needing more, needing more, needing more. You're literally stopping yourself from all the great things that could happen to you very easily. You're literally doing that yourself. I've been around very rich people who are like this as well. It's like, okay, you can make $1 million and then, you know, a couple of days later, I gotta top that. I gotta make $2 million. And it's a never ending circle. It's very exhausting to be around people like that who are never satisfied, who never appreciate what they already have. When you're around those who appreciate what they already have, there's great abundance because they can see the abundance. People who are constantly chasing stuff, they're gonna lose it eventually, because the karma is going to come in to try to teach them a lesson about that. Alcohol, drugs, are the people you are around, are they constantly drunk? Are they constantly high? That's tamasic. They're destroying their bodies. Alcohol destroys the body. It's one of the worst things. If you want to do it, then do it in moderation. But there's not many people who can do it in moderation. And they do believe that moderation is, oh, I only have a couple drinks on the weekends. And that's not moderation. That's still destroying your body. So I would caution you not to do that. You don't have to. And if you have to drink to be around your friends, they're not your real friends. That means you're trying to escape something. So that's why this deteriorates your body. It destroys your organs. When we destroy our organs, that's what ages people so fast. This is why people are aging so quickly, is because of the alcohol. And when you destroy your organs, you're just going to age very fast and die very fast. My mom was an alcoholic and died. And a lot of people don't realize that you can die from alcoholism. And that's when you get a distorted sense of reality. So in the tamasic state, you get a very distorted sense of reality because now you're depressed. Now you think everything's doom and gloom. Tamasic states, you get in your ego. Your ego can't see the truth. And now your ego is in charge. So you're like a zombie when your ego is in charge. You're an NPC. When you're in a sattvic state, that's when you're ultimately in control. That's when you're in control of what you manifest, your free will, your ability to see through illusions, see through deception. If you're a rajasic or tamasic state, you're easily controlled. You have no idea that you are. You're just very easily controlled. And that's why society tries to keep people in these states. This is just a small example of these states of consciousness. And if you can get in the higher state of consciousness by consuming what's correct, that is more sattvic, by doing things like meditation, spiritual practices every day, like not just once in a while, every day, you will raise your vibration to be able to attract things into your life. You can't just go to a seminar about the law of attraction, come out, now we know how to attract perfect. Okay, that doesn't work. That does not work. And a lot of these people are taking your money and they know it doesn't work because you guys keep coming back to them, asking them why you're not attracting things. Well, this is one of the reasons. There's many, many reasons. I'll do more videos about it, but this is the most basic reason why you're not attracting what you want in your life. So I hope this helps a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time.